Today, I'm going to explain why reverse dieting hunger is actually worse than hunger when you're cutting, how you can help with this, and how to get your calories nice and high without gaining unnecessary weight. Hey, this is Colin DeWaay. If you want to master your metabolism and create forever results, start now by subscribing and click on that bell notification so you don't miss anything. So whether you're watching this video because you just can't figure out why you're so hungry while reverse dieting, or because you're cutting and will be reverse dieting soon, it's important to understand not only why most people end up hungrier while reverse dieting, but to actually expect to be hungrier so you don't end up blindsided thinking something's wrong when this eventually happens. So before we dive deeper into the reasons why this happens, I want to talk a little bit about expectations, and this will still relate as well. Honestly, in my opinion, expectations is one of the most overlooked aspects, not only for success with fitness goals, but just happiness in general. And this is because they set the stage for how well you'll handle things when they don't go quite the way you thought. I really do personally believe that happiness is the difference between expectations and what you get, which is why fitness goals can be such a struggle for a lot of people. Expect it to be easy, and you'll have a hard time handling things when they inevitably eventually get difficult. Expect it to be hard, and you'll be prepared for when this does happen. The same thing goes for hunger in a reverse diet. Expect hunger to be high, and not only will you be prepared to handle it, but you may even find that you'll be less hungry because of it, because mindset definitely plays a role. And while there's plenty of physiological reasons for the reverse diet hunger, which I will get to in a bit, there's also psychological reasons behind it as well. Think about it this way: when you're in a cut, you just kind of expect to be hungry. You just realize it's going to be a part of the process and something you need to deal with to get to your goal. When you're in a reverse diet, however, now the goal literally becomes to eat more food. And if your focus is on eating more food, well, where your mind goes, so does your body, and being hungry becomes less tolerable because of it. In this stage, you're kind of over all the diet stuff. You don't want to deal with it anymore. You're done cutting. You just want to eat more food and not deal with all this hunger. But you have to be patient with your increase in calories if you don't want to regain weight too quickly. So yeah, it's a mental challenge to say the least, but the psychological side of things is only part of the equation. So as mentioned, there are plenty of physiological reasons why you're hungry as well. Most of this is your hormones, because when you do diet and you lose weight, your hormones are going to take an impact. But there's two hormones specifically that are the primary culprits. One is ghrelin, which is literally nicknamed the hunger hormone because this hormone is what tells you when you're hungry. And when you diet and lose weight, this hormone becomes elevated, signaling to your body that you're more hungry. The more you lose, the longer you diet, the more aggressively you do it for, the bigger impact there's going to be. The other hormone is leptin, which plays a lot of critical roles, but one of them is telling your body when you're full from eating. Now, leptin drops from dieting, especially as you lose more fat. When you lose fat from your fat cells, that signals a drop in leptin in your body. So now you have one hormone telling you that you're more hungry, and you have another hormone telling you that you're never full when you do eat. So you can see how it can be pretty easy to overeat when your diet's done, as well as how easy it can be to gain weight back considering your metabolism slows down from the dieting too. This is all part of the body's self-defense mechanism against starvation, as the body fights to keep you at a certain body fat set point. What this means is during this phase, your body is going to be talking to you loudly and trying to get you to eat more so you can gain that weight back. And it's almost like, for lack of a better way to explain this, once you start getting more food after your diet's done, your body's like, yes, just give me more, give me as much as you can, in an attempt to get you to gain that weight back. In fact, I've always personally noticed at the end of a cutting phase, I might not even be that hungry in general, but as soon as I eat something, it's like that signals my body, holy crap, now I'm starving. And no matter how much I eat in that meal, I remain hungry. In fact, if anything, it just makes me hungrier. By the way, don't go anywhere, because at the end of this video, I am gonna give you a strategy you can take to get past this. But yeah, it can basically be like food is almost the gateway drug to hunger during the reverse diet period. So you need to understand there's nothing wrong with you when this is happening and your body's just trying to get you to gain weight back. But you do need to be tough and fight back, or I promise you, your body will win. I'm telling you right now, the diet after the diet is always the hardest part, and this goes whether you do a good reverse diet afterwards or not. But the good news is, if you do this thing right, the post-diet window is almost like a magic window of time where some really incredible things can happen if you stay diligent. And this is how you end up in a place where you're eating a ton of food and not gaining unnecessary weight, and you get all that food that you're trying to eat now. You just have to be patient. Regardless though, you're better able to fight that post-diet weight gain so you don't throw away all your hard work. So with that, here's what you need to do to ensure the reverse diet period goes as well as possible. To me, one of the best things you can do is to treat the reverse diet phase just like it's an extension of your cutting phase. If you stay every bit as diligent during the reverse diet as you do during the cut, you will be rewarded handsomely by the end of it. And this is because early in the reverse, a lot of things are gonna happen. Your body's gonna start picking up, your metabolism's gonna speed up, your hormones are gonna start to improve, you'll have more energy, you'll probably sleep better, you'll recover better, all these different things. And when you stay on top of your macros and your exercise during this time, you'll be much better able to hold your weight and keep increasing calories. As you do this, over time, not only will your hunger start to subside, but you'll be able to hold on to your weight better, your calories will get sky high, and this is where you basically reach the promised land. But here's the thing, we typically make increases based on how much weight we're gaining in a reverse diet. If you're constantly overeating during the reverse, you're gonna gain weight faster than you want. And because you're gaining weight, you don't wanna increase your calories because you wanna remain stable. But then you just keep overeating, gaining weight, your calories get nowhere, and you just get frustrated. So this is why sometimes you need to consider, if you're not realistically sticking to the target calories you have, sometimes you'll actually net less calories if you increase your target calories to something that's more realistic for you, because you're actually gonna hit them versus lower targets that you don't hit and just sends you into these binging cycles. But if you stay diligent, now you're gonna be able to hold weight pretty well, you're gonna keep increasing your calories at a decent rate, and this is when you see some of these crazy things happen, which I would never promise or have you expect that this can happen, but you see these people who are losing weight in the earlier stages of a reverse, a lot of times it's because of this phase while staying diligent. Now, all of that said, here's some things you can do to help combat the hunger during your reverse diet. Make sure you keep your protein high, because this is the most filling macronutrient, mostly because it suppresses the hunger hormone ghrelin. And along with the extra protein, you want to make sure you keep eating nutrient-dense foods to help you feel full. Also, try to keep your meal timing and your different meal patterns pretty similar to what you're doing in the cut, because one of the things that I find triggers hunger a lot in people is changing up your meal timing. For instance, if you used to eat 3 meals a day and now you eat 5 or 6, that's probably gonna make you hungry. Whereas if you used to eat 5 or 6 meals a day and now you switch to 3, that's probably gonna make you hungry. Basically, keep doing what you were doing during the cut, during this reverse, but now you'll be able to do it with more food, and understand that your time for more food and more flexibility will come. I'm not saying you have to do this forever, just until your hunger signals start to improve and get back to a more normal level. Oh, and by the way, that tip that I mentioned earlier about dealing with eating more food actually making you hungrier and you never feel full during the meal, the key here is to plan in advance what you're gonna eat, stick to that, and even though you will almost guaranteed still be hungry, make the promise to yourself that you're not going to eat for at least 20 to 30 minutes, and if you're still hungry then, you can have some more. Most of the time by then it will have subsided or at least gotten substantially better, but if you keep eating because you still feel hungry while you're eating your meal, you'll pretty much just keep eating forever and never stop until you feel like a stuffed sausage. Now, one of the more common questions I get with reverse dieting is how long should you do the reverse diet? And to find the answer to that question, make sure you check out this top video and I'll tell you exactly how long you should do it based on your personal goals. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll see you next time.